Greetings, dear televiewers, and thanks for joining us on another edition of Women's Voice, a program that comes to you every Thursday, trying to educate women, to inspire them in their daily lives, and how to go about a lot of things affecting their gender. And today we are going to be talking on a very interesting topic: setting smart goals for women in 2025 for maximum achievements. And that is why I came out with this incredible panelists who are going to be sharing with us their expertise, their insights, and why not their experiences they have had in the course of the years setting smart goals. And when we talk of smart goals, we talk of specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and time-bound goals. Those goals that you can set within a certain period of time and you are sure of achieving them. And today we have a very interesting set of panelists who are here to educate the girls, the women out there, on how to set the goals as the new year is about to begin. And for our guests today, we have Mrs. Stella Eyabi. Mrs. Stella Eyabi is a mental health and behavioral health therapist. Greetings, ma'am, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Magdalene. It's a pleasure to be here on the panel.
Okay, and we have with us Mrs. Elmine Etta, a spoken word artist and theater performer, founder of Cameroon Theater and Arts Festival, which is aimed at valorizing theater arts in our nation. Good evening, Mrs. Elmine, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you, too.
Okay, and we have with us Mrs. Kongo Christy Ayok, Master Graduate in Women and Gender Studies, who also works as a GBV case manager at Gender Office in humanitarian context. Good evening, ma'am, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We also have with us Mrs. Tambelin Joan Besem, who is a journalist and a gender expert, lead coordinator for the Young African Women Congress Cameroon chapter, and is also an entrepreneur. Good evening, ma'am, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Madeline. And it's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, so dear televiewers, together we are going to be educating and inspiring a lot of young girls and women out there in assisting them to set their goals as we kickstart the year 2025. And immediately after our break, we are going to have a little presentation from one of our panelists of today, Mrs. Elmine, who is a spoken word artist. She has a little package for all our young girls and women out there just for an inspiration. So immediately after the break, we are going to be having that. If you are just joining us, you're on to Women's Voice on Divine Mercy Radio Television, and our talking point of today is setting smart goals for women in 2025 for maximum achievements. And right now we are going to be having a presentation from one of our guests, Mrs. Elmine, who is going to be doing a spoken word, something of spoken word to inspire our girls and ladies, women out there. Over to you, Miss Elmine.
Thank you. Time, they say, can never be reversed. A river flowing forever traversed. Moments lost in the sand can never be regained in this mortal land. You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start now and change the ending. The story is set. The story is still spinning. Now, the past is already gone, and there is a new trend. So forget about the what ifs and you hold on tight, and you can start now with all your might. Listen, the future is unwritten. A blank page stares at you, waiting for your pen to write a new chapter scares. Believe me, whenever I use my spirit ink, be rest assured it's going to sink in your spirit ink. So it's about time you take that step. Make a move with a brand new heart and a courageous heart. Time is of essence. There is always need for you to use the time. Every second, every hour, every minute is worth it. Because God who created time never delays like Cameroon time. Say, I missed the clock with TikTok. Fix your talk for him to still talk. In that fixed lock, he still talks. And even shadows hear him talk. Now to you all my beautiful ladies out there, you are a precious gem. You are a fine wine, one of a kind. You are beautiful within and without. So be joyful and free, because that is the music to humanity. You are a kingdom personality. Hashtag Yahweh's fraternity. Your dream is clear. Your voice is clear. You are a leader. You are a change maker too. You can do these things too. You are capable, brave, and true. So own your day, pave your way, own your worth, own your beauty, and let your spirit shine to Yahweh's delight. Somebody tell these ladies that you can look far. You can do so much more if you just set your goals right. Now set your sight on that distant star. Make a plan, measure your pace with a steady face. Reach for excellence. Never give in. Track your progress and let your spirit win. With every step and every fall, you just get back up and you stand tall, like the rock of ages which can fall. Well, love hits you like a storm and chokes you like the Undertaker. What do? Who do you turn to for help? What do you do? Well, I tell you today that the answer lies within you. You can decide to drop it at God's feet, then you booga, cause you still there breathe. You stand gallant like Commandant. So know that today you have to be smart to mark your goals this 2025. Thank you.
Wow, that's very beautiful. That's amazing. Elmin.
Thank you.
The fact that it just flows from your head and you just flow with the energy, it's really amazing. That's very good. Dear televiewers watching us right now, hope she inspired you. She said you should set your goals straight and walk right through it. So I hope that has inspired a lot of girls and women out there. Thank you very much, Mrs. Elmin, for that beautiful piece.
Thank you.
So we're going to be, when the year is about to begin, or when the year begins, a lot of girls and women have a lot of big ambitions. And we are all dreaming very high. When the year just begins, we tend to set goals that are not achievable, because when we talk of goals, your goal has to be time bound. It has to be reliable. Like, you should set something that you know that you can achieve. You cannot say you buy an aeroplane in 2025 when you know your income per month is not even up to what can sustain you. So I just want to find out with you, Mrs. Christine, you're smiling a lot. It's like you can really relate to this topic. You're smiling a lot. How can women prioritize these goals and focus on what's important? When we talk of these goals, these smart goals that we are trying to set for the year 2025, how can women prioritize these goals?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Just listening to the poem, it already summarizes everything. As a woman, as a young girl, as everybody generally, growing up or getting to a certain level, you always set some specific goals on how you want to live your life till the day you die. And we are talking of smart goals. It means, what do you want to achieve in a long run? That is the first thing. When we are calling goals, sometimes people just think is the impact or the outcome at the moment. Mm-hmm. But this is something that may take you maybe a long period of time or a short period of time. That's the first thing. And if we're talking about smart, and the first one we talk about specific, mm-hmm. which means you have to do something. You don't have to have a holistic plan. You cannot say, I want to probably go to school, from there just have a job, and then from there I will just travel abroad, and then after that I'll make money, I'll just set, and then you have put so many so many goals that you want to, and we don't have at that time. You're not specific which one you want to. At that moment, you don't know which is relevant at the time in which you are making that goal. You don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know the specific resources that you need. You don't know the support system that you have, so that in case of challenges, you've not made, and then it is not time bound, which means all of those things. Are you explaining that you will have all of those things within a year or two or that? So that is a summary of what I can say. Our goals or SMART goals should be something that has all of these elements, and if it covers all of these elements, then be rest assured that you will be able to succeed, because it helps you also to monitor how you're going to. It helps you to monitor your progress. It helps you to monitor if you're going to the right track or not, and any other thing that has to do with achieving that goal that is set.
Okay, Ms. Tambelin, just want to find out, what are the key elements? What are the key elements women have to consider while setting these SMART goals? What should be their focus on setting these goals?
All right, thank you so much, Madeleine. I want to think that for women to be able to achieve these SMART goals, this 2025, I think that I want to be looking at the issue of being intentional. Being intentional is the focus of it all. Are we even intentional about what we want to achieve? Do we really mean it? Are we really working through it? Because if you're intentional about a particular thing, a particular goal, a particular project you want to do, there are things that you have to put in place. For example, I want to travel abroad. If you want to travel abroad, you will not just get up. It's not a bus. You don't travel abroad through a bus. It's not through a taxi. You begin by preparing your passport. Maybe you don't even have an ID card. In Cameroon, it's challenging to have an ID card in a very short period. You should begin from there. So you have to be intentional. You put in the focus, put in the things that you are supposed to have in order for you to be able to travel abroad. My pastor used to say that luck is opportunity meets preparedness. There are certain things that can come your way, but because you have not prepared, you will not be able to get it. It can now come, they say, women have a program and they want to travel abroad. Women have a program, they want to build a project, they want to be a city, the women want to do this, but then you as a woman, you are not fully prepared. Why? Because maybe you have not even, there are small short courses which you can do in 3 months, and you'll be able to match up with what is required for that project. So if you know you want to work on this, be intentional about it and do the things that you are supposed to do in order to achieve it. So then we come now in with the mindset. I want to look at the mindset of the woman. The woman's mindset has always been that, I am just a woman. I just want to play around things. I just want to be my man's wife. I just want to be my daddy's daughter. But are you the kind of woman? Are you intentional about who you want to be? Are you intentional about where you want to get to? Are you intentional about changing the status quo? Because there are women who don't believe in changing the status quo. So one say, I'm just a Barbie doll. I just want to be a soft girl. There is a difference between being a soft girl and being a hustler. There is a difference between being, you just want to be a wife. Some women have the perspective of, I want to be the wife of a rich man. But other women want to be rich women themselves. So it all depends on what you are intentional about being. And once you are intentional, there is no way you will not put in the requirements for you to get to the next stage. So I think 2025, it's the year for us all. All the women should be intentional about that project we want to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tambelin. Thank you for that insightful contribution. And to you, Ms. Eto, there's this thing about self-care and mindfulness with a lot of women. Women get, I don't know if I should say it's anxiety, or women get desperate about a lot of things. So what role does self-care and mindfulness play in achieving goals?
Okay, I love your question. It is insightful, because I think that as women, there's a tendency for us to carry on a fixer personality. When we are girls, we are told we have to do this to fit in. We have to do this to be accepted, we have to do this to be chosen, we have to do this to do this. And so if we have to do all of these things to be chosen, when do we have time for ourselves? So you see, it's a foundational issue. It's not necessarily because women do not want to take care of themselves, it's because they have been taught to prioritize every other person but themselves. So it is a mindset problem. So when we are programmed in a society and in a system that says that every other person matters first, but you, what happens is your mind has been programmed to think that way. And what happens? Your thought and your behavioral pattern changes. And then you have experiences of trauma experiences. You have mental health issues developing. You have anxiety, generalized anxiety, maybe social anxiety, social phobia. It could be depression, etc. So what self-care does is self-care comes into the picture to make a woman know that they can prioritize, keyword, prioritize themselves. So self-care simply is the prioritization of a person's holistic wellness, body, soul, and spirit.
Okay.
Just to put that out there. So what is the role of self-care, to help women know that they can achieve anything in life? When we are able to prioritize ourselves like we prioritize others, we get to see ourselves as one important. When I know that I'm important, trust me, I can do anything for myself.
Yeah.
Imagine you have a child, like, women are nurturers, they are normal nurturers, they are caring people. You want to do everything for your child to have the best of life.
Of course.
Let's reverse the roles. If you were your child, how would you treat yourself to make yourself know that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to? You are lovable, you are deserving of care and attention, and you are valuable. If you can do that to your child, imagine you do that to yourself. All right, let me back up a little bit. You do that to your child, and your child knows that they are cared for, they are adored, they are seen, they are heard, they are valued. Then you do that for yourself. You start seeing yourself as worthy of being heard, worthy of being seen, worthy of being valued. So the essence of self-care for a woman is it makes women know that they have the ability to experience life to the fullest, beyond their mind's capacity, and achieving even what they could only imagine or dream about. So for women to achieve their goals, it starts with them prioritizing themselves, because you cannot pour out of an empty cup. So when I fill myself with value, with love, with care, with compassion and understanding, every other person around me benefits from the overflow of who I am. Like I always say, the mantra of my organization, Ziba Holistic Wellness Care, it is within you that bliss is found. So never stop unveiling your uniqueness, because when you stop unveiling your uniqueness, you're stagnant. But when you give out of the overflow of who you are, you do not get frustrated, you do not get offended, because you're giving out of the overflow of what you have fed yourself as with. So in plain terms, women should learn how to feed themselves emotionally, mentally, socially, physically, spiritually, financially, so that with or without people giving back to you, you have first given to yourself. And when they give to you, you will not deny receiving, because you know what it is to give and you know what it is to receive. So that's the basis of it.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Stella. And most often than not, women always put it on obstacles. This thing is difficult. I cannot strain myself on this. Like Ma'am Tambelin said, everybody wants to be a mommy's girl, daddy's girl. Nobody is willing to stress. So a soft girl. So how can women be empowered or be educated to stay resilient to these challenges? There are obstacles. If you want to set goals, you must always know, we talk of the goals, the SMART goals, there are also obstacles to those goals. So how can women be educated to be resilient to this, to pursuing their goals despite the obstacles? You know, there are a lot of obstacles. So how can women actually pursue these goals despite their obstacles?
I want to coin up something before we go to the obstacles, and maybe we may be talking holistically about goals. I want to look at it from educational perspective, community level, personal goals. Let's say 2025 has just started, and educationally there are a lot of women out there. They have, let me put it pidgin, they don't hear them for their body, and they feel like going back to school will give them the opportunity that they have, they wish for to achieve their goals. Others have their personal goals, like maybe getting married, maybe doing something, building a house or buying a car for themselves. Others have career goals to maybe get a good job, get promoted, or increase, maybe apply for increasement in their salary. And then community, maybe someone like me who has never been into any social group. I've admired one beautiful Kaba last year, and I want to belong to that group. I want to be associated. So I think with this fair, it can touch every person out there who has a particular goal within. And if you look at that, as she rightly said, most of the times we don't value ourselves, and we just follow the crowd. Now, cultural norms will actually limit a lot of young girls and women out there with potentials to achieving these goals in any of those sectors I just listed. Because first of all, they will tell you that, I remember when I was doing gender, somebody asked, it was a man, what are you doing in UB? I said, Women and Gender Studies. He said, it's a 4-year program, right? I said, yes. He said, now that way, una know if you married. Because una go just argue, woman picking any place. Now the work I advocate for women's rights.
When I was in school, you know.
Exactly. And then when somebody says that, and you immediately get stressed out for no good reason. Yes, the stereotype just bring you to a fixed point, and you go home, you think about it, and then you are like, if Nasa would be me, I want to be a submissive woman. I want to get married someday. I don't want men to be afraid of me. And you start thinking, what would the community say about me? And then you just end up not doing the women and gender study that you wanted to do. Probably you find yourself now in another course that was not your wish. And that is it. You have already diverted. It means your goal at that time, it was not specific.
Yes.
It was not relevant for you at that moment, and then it was not objective. You didn't plan for. So you were just in a scale. Anyhow they push you. That is why at any point in time when the stereotypes, anything, societal expectation hits you can easily just give up on. And then another challenge is that limited resources, especially finances. Sometimes we have good goals, good objectives, we have set them, we have even planned the activities, but now finances. And with the level that we find ourselves, I used to tell my friends that when you look at your phone, the first 5 or the first 10 numbers are numbers that when you call, nobody can come to your rescue. Know that your circle, you're in the wrong circle. Or if you have 120 phone numbers and then you need maybe financial help, or you need help, not just financial, and then all through you look at the numbers, there's nobody that can relate to that assistance that you need, it means you're in the wrong circle. Try to change your circle. So those financial assistance or probably other resources that you may be a limitation. So before setting your goals, try to look at the resources around you to know whether or not you'll be able to achieve. Because like she rightly said, you say you want to travel to go abroad. You have never tried to apply for anything that has to do with traveling abroad. You don't have a passport. You don't even know where they make it. You don't even have the information of what is required to even do a passport. But you want to travel, and you go to church and they are saying, those who want to travel this year, 2025, you're going to travel in the mighty name of Jesus. And you're the first person to shout, Amen. And then there's nothing. So those are some of the challenges. And then another challenge could be that you yourself, you are not intentional. You don't have the motivation. You have stress, burnout. You have stress and burnout. You have a family stigma and pressure, especially when it comes to this marriage thing. Because, with marriage, it has a lot of things. You see, you start, your lifestyle start changing. You start seeing yourself different. And then you start thinking that you have to forgo yourself because you're married. It's what your husband wants. It is what the family said. My mother-in-law does not want a woman who travels and all of that. And then you cannot travel. You have to give birth. So all of that, I think those are some. Let me give room for others to talk. Yes. So those are some of the challenges I think women face.
Thank you very much. And to you, Elmine, looking at you in the theater, the theater arts thing, how do you support each other? I know there are a lot of women doing theater work now. There are a lot of women out there. So how do you support each other in your field? What is that support mechanism you put in place? Before I come back to some of those obstacles, let's know how you support each other in your theater field.
Okay. Normally or firstly, I would say that we have to know how to celebrate our small wins. Definitely, if you don't start celebrating the small, you'll not be able to celebrate the bigger ones. So whatever win you've had from the start, you have to start celebrating it. You've put in place goals you want to achieve for the year. Then you've started with the first or the second. Even if it didn't come out with a result that you expected it to come out with, you have to celebrate the little return it came out with. Now in our domain, we follow the people we want to be like. You follow them, you get advice from them, you can seek mentorship. It's very essential. How do we empower ourselves? We get in networking. We network with each other, and then we share our stories, because I believe that your personal story can encourage somebody. You can share your experience of how you've been from this situation to another, and it worked out for you. So why don't you share with a sister? And it's going to really boost that person's morale, boost that person's spirit to be better, or maybe even better than you. But it's worth it to share your experiences. It's worth it to go for mentorship. It's worth it to follow the person you want to be like in future.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Tamberlin, just to come to you, you said you are a gender expert and an entrepreneur. Looking at the gender sphere, how do you encourage women? Because the biggest obstacle we have as women is supporting each other. Women have not yet come to the compromise of supporting each other. We always say support a sister, help a sister, and all of that. But I think women still have that stereotype mindset of actually being contented with the fact that another woman is, they say if person pass you carry a load. So we should all first of all learn how to accept the fact that someone must always be ahead of us. All of us cannot be on the same space. Right. Else there'll be no achievements, there'll be no goals, there'll be no growth. So in the gender sphere, how do you encourage women to support one another within the obstacles they face? What is that support mechanism put in place for women?
Thank you so much, Madeleine, once more. Firstly, women have to understand that if another woman or other women are not up there, there will be nothing like mentorship. Because somebody who is below you cannot mentor you.
Of course.
You can only get mentorship from somebody who has experienced that path, who has traversed that path, who has succeeded that path and is right up there, and you want the person to train you upwards. It is a very challenging thing. It's really, I feel really pity about the issue that women actually see other women like a challenge. Women actually see other women like I don't want to work with this woman. It is easier for a woman to hate a woman than for a woman to hate a man. Actually, nobody should hate anybody. But in this sphere of climbing the ladder of success, women have to understand that we must collaborate. We must collaborate. There must be this level of collaboration. If not, we will keep quarreling. I want to believe that gone are the days where women will sit and gossip and quarrel. Today's woman, the woman of the 21st century, is that kind of woman who sits with her peers, who sit like we are in this panel. We discuss how can we develop these points? How can we work to achieve a particular goal? So women should understand that. Once we understand that, we will be able to understand our goal, our project, than each other. It's not about envying, it's not about gossiping, but it's about how we can grow together. If we don't grow together, the goodness will not be together, because you are not happy to see your sister grow. I'm not happy to see you grow. You think that me growing is a challenge to you. You see that me growing is a challenge. Or that if we can put all this behind. And women, we have to understand that we must have women leaders for women to climb up the ladder. If we don't have these women leaders, who is going to present the issues concerning women on top? For example, we are on the table right now. Men are talking about their challenges. And because I have a problem with one woman or the other, I will not want to present this challenge. You are in the health sector, you will not want to present it because another woman did this. You are this way, you don't want to present it. It will keep us suppressed for a very long time. But I want to thank God that women that we have today are women who actually care about women to grow. We need to care about one another. We need to not to see other women as a challenge, but as a springboard to move to the next level. So, if we are still envying one another, it is part of human existence, but let us not allow it to keep drawing us behind. Let us work towards achieving a goal. We were, in October, we were in Nigeria under the Young African Women Congress Network, and we saw powerful women, humble women, submissive women who have gone very high on the ladder of entrepreneurship. This is the kind of environment we want to see the Cameroon women. The Cameroon women should be able to climb up that ladder and should be able to feel free with happiness, with peace of mind, to be able to draw a younger woman. As a woman, if we have not been able to empower another woman, and then we are not going anywhere. Because when you are gone, you are gone. Unless you empower somebody who will shine and they will say, this person is shining as a result of this other woman. We should be able to have our pride. We should be able to be proud of uplifting other women than bringing other women down. So it is time for us women of Cameroon to be able to climb up the ladder with another younger woman.
Okay, just still on the point of climbing up the ladder, I want us to look at these SMART goals maybe in 2 or 3 aspects. Let's say the aspect of leadership, the aspect of entrepreneurship, because those are contemporary things in our society today. Entrepreneurship, leadership, and education, because a lot of women are stepping up their game in education. Nobody wants to be left behind. Everybody wants to learn something that is going to help them in the nearest future, help them in their communities, in their families, in the society as a whole. So looking at leadership at setting SMART goals, what are some of those goals that you as a mental health therapist, you can advise a woman? What are some of those SMART goals that I can tell them, okay, you can do this for leadership. You can take up a course, you can take up something, you can empower yourself. How do you relate to this problem with women when they come for mental health therapies and so?
Right, so cognitive behavioral therapy is a really goal-oriented type of therapy, because what is cognitive behavioral therapy? It is basically a therapy that focuses on individuals learning how to challenge negative thoughts and form healthier thoughts through thought reframing and cognitive restructuring. So like we all know, as humans, we all have a knack to set goals and achieve things. It's kind of, that's what makes us know that we are living and breathing, to know that we are evolving, because without evolution, we aren't a people. We are a people because we constantly evolve and bring up new ideas. So then how can, us as women set, SMART goals with regards to leadership? An example I could be, for example, okay, let me use me as an example and not my clients. So let's say one of my leadership goals for 2025 would be, say I want my employees to have satisfaction, maximum, get the goal. The goal is employees, so it's very specific. Employees, not the company in general. Employees getting maximum satisfaction with their present positions at the office. It's very specific. Now that's the goal. It's not for them, it's for me. It's me, that's what I want out of 2025 with regards to my organization. Now that's specific. Let's go to the measurable. How am I able to measure that my employees have satisfaction? How many of us are approachable leaders?
Exactly.
That when they share feedback to us, that's the goal. It's different. Everybody can have a goal. But for the goal to be SMART, you have to get to the measurable part. So how will I know that my employees are getting satisfaction out of their position? Measurable. I listen to your feedback. If they tell me that, we worked a lot and, you do not give us a lot of break. And I'm like, why? Am I going to achieve my goal in the long run? No, because measurable, for me to know that they are getting satisfaction, I have to be open transparently to your thoughts. Madam Stella, I feel like we can do this to improve the organization. Madam Stella, I think that we can do this. Madam Stella, I think that we should include this project. That's me measuring the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because if they are willing enough to come and share with me your thoughts and feedback, that's how I know they're satisfied with your job. That's how I know that you're invested in the organization and they want growth. Measurable.
Yeah.
Now attainable. How can we go from there? In all of the satisfaction, in all of your feedback, how can we attain them? Get to the point where they can, get satisfaction. It's me actually listening to them and finding ways to implement the most consistent and relevant feedback that they have given. So let's say in my satisfaction, I wanted that their satisfaction comes with maybe increments in salaries. Now you've given all of your complaints and I have gotten that feedback and I'm running with it. For it to be attainable, I have to put in structures that will ensure that we get more revenue so that they can get more pay. And that I will not even know how to have them have satisfaction without listening to your feedback.
Yeah.
And without that feedback, I will not have the strategies to put in to have them have. So you see how it begins. So it's a piggyback. It's a circle.
Yeah.
I have to first of all have an understanding, which is the specific goal, and now how to measure it. So the measurable tendency of the SMART goals is what makes it attainable. And then now what makes it relevant? At the end of the day, when all of my employees are satisfied, what happens to the company?
Yeah.
Time bound. How can it be time bound? Maybe when it grows in the next 3 months, what happens to the organization? The way it was in 2024 will not be the way it is in the first 3 months of 2025. So when employees are satisfied and how are they satisfied? By me listening to your inputs and not only listening, taking into consideration and putting in strategies to make sure that they get satisfaction. Because when they are satisfied, they get job satisfaction. The company piggybacks from that. The company, because I'm satisfied, I don't mind adding an extra hour for work. I don't mind coming up with projects. I don't mind doing projects without you asking. And what happens to the general organization? Because employees are satisfied, the company grows. So basically, that's how leadership goals can. Now, I started to use myself with 1, employee satisfaction, 2, listen to them, 3, piggyback on them by listening to it and implementing strategies. And then what happened? There is good in the organization. And what happens? The first 3 months that people used to plan is instead where I get more results.
Okay. I think that's very wonderful. And that's you, Mr. Mbelin. You said you're an entrepreneur. So how do you people support each other? There are a lot of women entrepreneurs, women that have small businesses. Do you people have maybe a gathering from time to time to empower each other? Or how do you support each other in the business arena? Because a lot of women are into business, that are doing similar things. What is their boost? What is the boost? How can we empower these women with their small businesses to grow, maybe to have companies one day? Because a lot of women have that
Of
dream.
course. All right, thank you so much, Madeleine, once more. Before I come to that question, there's something I want to talk about, the power of goal. As a woman, procrastination is like, for me, it's a killer. I want to do this, tomorrow I will do this. How for that small business? No, I go start an after tomorrow. No, I go start an next month. I go start an in 3 months. I'll start an in. Before you know it, 2025 is gone. People did that. People procrastinated 2024, and it is over, and they have not done anything. So as a woman, when you want to do something, please pick up your pen and your jotter. Pick up your pen and your jotter. I want to start this business within this time frame. This is the amount of money I will be needing. These are the kind of things I want to start. For example, for me, I own a shop. I began with online sales. I said, let me try to start selling online. I did online for a while. After some time, I said, no, I should not just end just on online sales. Let me try to come up with a small shop. Let me begin with a boutique. Let me start buying from Douala. Let me start buying from Turkey. Let me, and all that. So I want to say that as a woman, if you had something in your mind in 2024 that you want to start doing it in 2025, the time is now. I know that there might be some financial challenges, but begin from that small thing that you have. begin from that small capital that you have. You cannot wait to begin with a very big shop, with a very big store, but you have to just start from what you can do. At times, you might not expand in the same thing that you are doing. At times, you just need to begin doing something, and in the long run, you can now move to what you really want to do because you have raised enough money. Now, coming to your question, how do we boost? We organize seminars from time to time to teach women how to manage money. Many women don't know how to manage money. You can give a woman, like I work with grassroots women. I can go to the grassroots and we work out something and we say, this women, one woman will come down, I want to fry pop-off and beans. This woman will come down, I want to maybe open a creche. In French, they call it creche. But in English, they call it daycare. I want to open a small daycare. I want to be taking... Before you know it, that woman has relocated for marriage somewhere. Yes. We are not saying that marriage is not a good thing. Yes. But if a man loves you, he should support what you are doing. Because once you abandon that thing and you relocate for marriage somewhere, you will see that same woman after 12 months or 24 months coming back that, oh, I'm being violated. They are beating me. See, a man does not beat any woman who is hardworking. I want to say 80%. When you become boring, you are asking from your part, to your this. These men too get tired. I'm not justifying any violence here. Let no man quote me anywhere that I've said that because the woman is not working, you should beat the woman. If you beat any woman, whether because she's working or not, you are going down. This 2025, we are not joking. Yes, a violent man is a violent man. So don't go and say that, no, women gathered on set and they were saying that if a woman does not work, they should be the woman. If you dare it, we are going to punish you. The law is against you. We are coming after you. What I'm saying is that women, once you are able to do your own small business, you are able to have your money. See, there is a separate glow. There's a different kind of way you glow when you do your business and you have your money and you control your money. You buy what you want to buy. Yes, when you have this financial independence, it helps you to glow more as a woman. It helps you to empower other women. So we provide small capitals for women, and we also organize seminars to teach women on how to manage their capitals. It's not everything that you rush to your capital. Right. It's not, as a woman, it's not everything that you rush to your capital. There are things that you manage it like in the house. Mm-hmm. It's not because I had 2,000 francs, I want to manage it. For example, I'm not saying that it's 2K. I know 2K is very small for this economy now. Yes. Let me just say 2K, for example, and you want to do something that will require you to have like 5K. If there's a possibility you can manage that 2K, please do. It's not every time we rush back to our capital. If we keep rushing back to our capital, before you know it, that capital is finished and you are back bare hand. You are back on square one. You are back on empty. So we are organizing these seminars. We are providing little income for women who want to start up businesses. We are not coming to give you $1 million. We are not coming to give you 500K. We are coming to give you something like a springboard for you to start up. I've seen women who have started puff-puff business and now they own big restaurants. We have seen women who have started like cutting of fruit beside the roads and now they own good fruit restaurants.
I think it's your mindset and how intentional you are.
How intentional you are. I was teaching about being intentional in 2024, and I can assure you that so many women went intentional truly, and they are making it. And this 2025, the story is not going to be different. We have to be intentional in anything that we do.
Thank you very much. And I think every woman out there should have the most specific goal for 2025 is financial independence, because I think that's what covers everything.
Every other thing.
Yes, because if you are financially independent, there are a lot of things you can do. A lot of women are still stagnant because that financial independence is not there. So all of us women in this country today, that should be our number one goal for 2025, business goals. Because once you're financially independent, you have a lot of dreams, you have a lot of things you can actually attain and achieve. So please, let's be financially independent. And to you, Mrs. Elmine, you manage a lot of things and your family. So what is the goal you have 2025 in your family milieu?
Okay, I would first like to buttress on the point the speaker just mentioned, on the part to write down what you have as an idea, because definitely ideas will always pop out. And it's good that when these ideas pop out, it's just like the wind is going to flow away if you're not penning it down. So it's good to always pen it down. You can have a sticky note, post it on your wardrobe in your room, and just keep ticking it, keep ticking it. And then this prompto thing of buying, do not do it. Let me tell you something. Your ideas are very sleek, and I tell you that you're not the only one thinking about that.
Of course.
If you're thinking, for example, to do a fashion business, there are millions of other people thinking of doing a fashion business. It could even be your neighbor. And so once you're wasting time, you're procrastinating, as you rightly said. As you're wasting time, you're procrastinating, the next neighbor is going to launch that the next day, and you're like,
Even bigger.
that is what I thought about doing
Even
it.
bigger.
Exactly. So it's good enough that when we have these ideas, because I believe, my notion is that when an idea comes to your mind, there's a 50% probability that it can be realized. So once you have visualized it, actualize it. That's it. Now for my family, definitely I want to expand our horizons. My husband deals with an organization called Amo Group. He wants to extend it to reach more countries, because now we are doing scholarships and travel consultancy for Canada, for USA and Belgium. We want to expand the horizon to other countries. Then as for me, I manage a company, and for my theater festival I started, I want to do this here big time. Yes, I want to bring in the faces that were not there, and also give more opportunity for the people who were not given opportunity for 2024. That opportunity is here right now for you to grasp it, and then you sprout, because it's all about valorizing my Cameroon Theatre and Arts Festival, my festival. It's all about valorizing theatre arts and giving it more exposure. And because you have that gift in you, we want to explore that gift. We want to give you astonishment. Women, you are open for it. It is not just for the men. The women even have more capabilities, I tell you, because I've watched a lot of spoken word artists who are women. They are doing exceedingly well. So if you have that gift in you, I do not know how to go about it, it's good to seek for mentorship. Like I rightly said, you can reach out to somebody you admire. You may not have a close contact with that person, but just follow the person.
Yes.
But they always have live shows. Celebrities always have live shows. Follow the person. Keep following. That person will take note of you. And the person may even be the one to reach out to you, and that, boom, you're there.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we are wrapping up with the program. We have just a few minutes left, but I still want us to talk on women, still on these goals. How can we educate women to stay focused on their goals? What strategies could we recommend for women to stay? Maybe we're just saying it, and we should actually get specific with some of these strategies that we can recommend for women to stay focused on their goals. Maybe I'll start with you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the very first strategy that I would recommend that women should, pick to get steady on their goal, the very first thing is know what your goals are. It's as simple as it sounds, but it's not simple. You cannot stay steady on a goal you do not know. And for you to know what a goal is, you need to have it written. The power of writing things down is it sticks. And 2, have an accountability partner. So write it down. That's enough. You write it down. It could be in your journal. It could be on your sticky note, like Elmaine said. But just write it down. Right? Write it down. Then have an accountability partner. Someone that people like to call it in different milieux, your purpose partner, your friend that it could be your colleague, whoever is very intentional about your well-being in general. Have these people know that this is your goal, so that you can be accountable to the accomplishment of that goal. So it's not enough to just know what you want to do. Write it down. When you've written it down, have someone that you can be accountable to on that journey. And then I'm going to give the baton for you.
Okay. So if there is something I've learned today, it's before setting our goals, we should first of all, the first goal is being financially stable. And and actually being able to write down your goals and talk to someone. It could be a mentor, it could just be someone who is intentional. We should be making intentional contacts in 2025. Let's not just have a crowd of people around us when, like you rightly said, there's no one on your contact list from 1 to 10 that can actually come in for you in any way. So I think we should actually have intentional contacts, intentional friends,
Social
intentional
connections.
people. Yes, very intentional social connections around us. And before we wrap up with the program, I just want us, the ladies on set, maybe each of us should have maybe a word, very briefly, an encouraging word to a woman out there. Maybe there's someone out there that you're actually the person's role model, but you do not know. The person is actually looking up to you. Maybe the person has been following you up on social media and all of that. Those kind of sacred admirers that actually like, I want to be like her, I want to be like Stella. What can they do? What should be their focus? What should be their focal point this 2025 in attaining those goals?
Okay. With me first, I want to say no competition, no pressure. Because what is happening now is that there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of competition, and so it makes us to set unrealistic goals. You see somebody looking beautiful, like I was traveling yesterday from Yaoundé to Boya, and a man that was sitting beside me admired my color so much, and because I was playing a game that I was doing artificial makeup, and we started talking, and he went straight to my color, and he was like, oh, look at you don't rub. I said, I rub oil, I rub cream, like I use oil, but which one? I said, no, I'm into skincare. I said, no, because I'm shining, he thinks I'm putting something, I'm to skincare and stuff. And it just it just came to my mind that if you are in your friends or peer pressure is making you to make some goals in life. I want to get lighter than Esther is black. I want to be fair than Esther. You will miss the goal. So we should not make goals out of pressure because everybody, you see every girl doing online business. Me who does not even know how to sell or to even call a customer because my friend is doing online. I don't know her secret. I don't know how she does it. I just want to enter. So let's not follow pressure, and then let's be sure of what we want to do. Which means before you say you want to do this, you can have an idea. You can write it down. But does that idea actually, is it relevant at the moment? Do you think you need that idea at that moment? If you need it, okay, what can be the challenge if I have to embark on this idea? Is that challenge, am I able to overpass that challenge? Or is there a mentor that can mentor me on this challenge? It's like bookwork. When you want to do your PhD, they ask you to bring first your project topic. And then from there now, they'll tell you whether it's realistic or not. So that is just my own take for women out there.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Elminita. Maybe you have something to say?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to say that we women should get informed, because if you're not informed, you're deformed. And I'll recommend you keep watching this TV so you can get information about things that can boost you up and can add your skills. And I believe that Women Empowerment Center holds skill sessions where a woman can go there and learn skills for their betterment. If you do not have a company, you cannot just start a company just like that. You have to start somewhere. Now, a personal experience I would like to share last year is I had the goal to run my own event called Theatre and Arts Festival. My aim was to have my achievement. I want to have my legacy. As a woman, I don't want to depend on my husband's finance and all that. And he has his legacy, he has his company. So I want to have my own thing. And so I came up about this idea because I'm in a theatre milieu. I want to do something that is also going to expose me and also going to bring people around me who they can relate to what I do. And so I came up with this idea, but then there was a challenge because at a moment in time we lost everything. My husband and I lost everything. We are frankless. And so how do you keep going on with that challenge? You don't have a frank, you want to have a festival, and we're few months away to having this festival, and the announcement was already all over the net, and people were already announced. It was already announced to a lot of people. They already knew that they're coming to attend Cameroon Theatre and Arts Festival. So with that, I just had to keep going, because no matter how you fall, you have to stand back up.
Of course.
Yeah, so I just had to keep going. We're doing it with nothing, like 0 franc. We kept going because we believed it. So it's enough for you to believe in yourself, because nobody's going to believe for you. Nobody's going to come and encourage you. You don't want to. I was like, Elmin, your fans, your participants are not going to come and encourage you. They've already registered. They're expecting the results. So you have to be the one to encourage yourself first. As a woman, you have to know in your head. You must encourage yourself first before any other person. You don't have to relate or rely on your spouse or your parents or your whoever to encourage you. So I encouraged myself and I kept going on, and that's how things started coming into play till we had Commonwealth and Arts Festival in October last year, and it was massive than I even expected it to be. So you just keep going with that goal. When you fall, you rise up again, you continue, because I believe that failure is when you stop trying.
Yes.
So once you have the ability to keep pushing forward, you have the ability to keep moving on. That is success for me. So you keep moving, you keep doing you keep doing that thing, and you're going to succeed in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Eminita. Madam Tambeli, maybe you have some.
Okay, for my take-home message, I want to say, please, ladies, focus. There is a lot of distraction outside right now. A lot of distraction out there. For the young girls, I want to look at you into the eye and tell you, focus. Don't be moved but when you see things. My friend has this, I want to have this. My friend has this kind of boyfriend who is giving her this kind of thing, I want to have mine. 500K for breakfast, 1 million, riding a car. I want to say, focus. You know where you are coming from. If you don't understand where you are coming from, you will never define where you are going to. We are coming from different backgrounds with different challenges. A lot is already happening out there. I still want to say focus. I want to say if your parents have managed to put you in a particular position, please pick up from there. Do not allow somebody's things pressurize you for the sake of your mental health. I also want to say, women, in every situation where we find ourselves, for example, right now, let us endeavor to network. Networking is a very powerful tool. You will not know it until when you start networking. You see the benefits of networking. That's when you will know that for the past years which I've not been networking, these are the things that I'm losing. I want to say, stop being around negative people. When you have this in mind, you are birthing this idea, you want to do this, and somebody say, hey, shut up, you cannot do it. You too, if you do the kind of thing. I want you to understand that you're beautiful, you're strong, and you too can do it. Focus. God bless you.
Thank you very much, televiewers. I hope you had a beautiful follow-up on our conversations. And I just want to thank our incredible panelists for coming, all of you, for your insightful deliberations and your expertise on your stories and the empowerment you've given to women out there. I hope all our women and girls out there have been empowered, have been educated, have learned one thing today, because if there's one thing I'm taking home is financial stability for 2025, intentional social connections, and also when making your goals, you should pen them down and talk to someone who is intentional about your growth, about your well-being, about how you feel. Let's not just carry crowd here and there. Let's stay focused, let's be intentional, let's stay on the grind, because that is what is important. Thank you so much for being part of our discussion today. We hope you've learned something from all what we've been saying throughout the program, and keep the rendezvous next week for Women's Voice for another incredible topic, very interesting topic for next week. And until then, keep watching Divine Mercy Radio Television for more interesting program. For presentation, I have been Magdalene Wondo. See you next week.